Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It's January 26, 2023, and Conrad Lammer has rejected Barcelona. Wesley Franca is insisting on joining the club, and it seems that Atletico de Madrid are interested in signing Ferran Torres. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and as I told you in yesterday's video, I am currently outside the country traveling to attend a friend's wedding, and as such, I'm far away from my computer and all of my equipment. So I'm bringing you this live, unedited video with all the most up-to-date Barca news. Now, I'm sorry for bringing you this video so late. I've been traveling all day. I've been in a very remote part of the world. I've had to travel through plane, bus, car, you name it. I've been traveling all day. I just got into my hotel, but nonetheless, I'm ready to bring you the most up-to-date Barca news, and there's a lot of interesting news today. Now, we start with Pedro. If you watched the match of yesterday in the quarterfinals between Barcelona and Real Sociedad, where Barcelona won 1-0, and with that victory qualified to the semifinals of the Copa del Rey, Pedro had to be substituted during the match because he seemed to feel some pain in his knee and he had to be taken out. And there was a lot of worry that he could be injured, but thankfully Xavi has confirmed that Pedro is not injured, that he only suffered some pain and some discomfort during that match. However, he's not injured, so he is expected to be part of the squad for Saturday's match in La Liga between Barcelona and Girona. The next news is that Conrad Lammer has rejected Barcelona. Now, Conrad Lammer is a 25-year-old Austrian player who currently plays for Leipzig. Barcelona were considering signing to replace Sergio Busquets in that pivot position since Busquets is leaving at the end of the season. And Conrad Lammer had announced that he wasn't going to renew his contract with Leipzig, so he would have been a free agent in the summer, and that's another reason why Barcelona were interested in signing him, given their difficult financial situation. However, the German media outlet Bild have reported that it seems that Conrad Lammer has signed with the Bundesliga giants Bayern Munich. So seeing that Bayern Munich have beat us to yet another signing, and Barcelona will have one less option for a possible replacement for Sergio Busquets. Now, one player that does want to come to Barcelona is, of course, the Brazilian sensation Vitor Roque. As I reported in yesterday's video, Vitor Roque has made it very clear that his only intention is to join Barcelona. Now, Vitor Roque is the 17-year-old center forward who currently plays for the Brazilian club Atletico Paranaense, and he's considered one of the most promising center forwards in the entire world. Barcelona want to sign this player, and so he can be Robert Lewandowski's replacement once the Polish striker's contract expires with the club. Now, I had initially reported that Barcelona had decided to go after Vitor Roque, and now that Vitor Roque has made it clear that he wants to come to Barcelona, it's now being reported that the negotiations have begun between Barcelona and Atletico Paranaense to bring Vitor Roque to the club in the summer. And it's being reported that even though Vitor Roque has a 60 million euro release clause, Barcelona could end up signing him for around 30 million euros. And that's thanks in part to the player pressuring his own club to only negotiate with Barcelona, having rejected offers from PSG, Chelsea, and even West Ham. Now, another person who has helped Barcelona in his negotiations is, of course, Deco, the former Barcelona player who's now an agent for players, including Rafinha himself. And Deco is considered a specialist in the Brazilian market, and he has been helping Barcelona with the negotiations with Atletico Paranaense. And it seems that everything is going in favor of the club, and that Barcelona is looking very close to signing Vitor Roque for the summer of 2023. And there's even talks that Barcelona are on their way to agreeing to a payment plan so they can pay those 30 million euros to Atletico Paranaense in a payment plan, which of course would help the club tremendously, given the difficult financial situation that Barcelona are undergoing. So it's starting to look more and more likely with every passing day that Vitor Roque will become a Barcelona player in the summer. Now, of course, he is 17 years old, so he won't be able to join. His signing will not be made official until he turns 18. But the good news is that he turns 18 next month on February 25th. Now, another player that also wants to come to Barcelona is someone that I talked about a few days ago, who is Wesley Franca. Now, Wesley Franca is a 19-year-old left back who currently plays for the Brazilian club Flamengo. He's considered as a very promising left back, and Barcelona are currently working on signing the player on a one-year loan with a no obligation to buy. Now, it seems that this deal did not go. This offer of Barcelona did not go too well with Flamengo. They're not too happy about this one-year loan offer with an option, with a non-obligatory option to buy. But it seems that the player really wants to come to Barcelona, and Wesley Franca has told his agents to continue working as hard as possible to make this move happen from Flamengo to Barcelona. Now, Barcelona are successful in signing Wesley Franca. He would be joining the Barca Athletic, and he will be sharing his time between the Barca Athletic and the first team. But as to start with, he will be a Barca Athletic player, which I think is a good plan for this 19-year-old because he is still young, he's still development. So it would be good for him to start at the Barca Athletic, begin learning the Barcelona way, and then if he shows that he's good, then he can be promoted to the first team, because sometimes such a big jump from going from Flamengo directly into the first team of Barcelona could be too much of a jump for a young player. So I think easing him into the Barca Athletic and then to the first team would be a better idea. And I really like the one loan year. That way Barcelona could try this youngster out. And if he works out, then great, they can sign him on a permanent basis. And if he doesn't, then they can return him to Brazil. Now, the Brazilian player Felipe Luis, that you might recall, he's a 37-year-old left back who played for Atletico Madrid. He's currently back in Flamengo. He is considered one of the best left backs in the history of Brazil. Has recommended Wesley Franca to Barcelona. He, of course, being a player of Flamengo, Felipe Luis plays with Wesley Franca and trains with him every day. And he has had great things to say about this youngster. He says that one-on-one, he's very good on one-on-one duels. He's very, very fast. He's very strong defensively. He did say that Wesley Franca still needs to work on how to close spaces, but of course, he added that Wesley Franca is still a young player, so he's still developing. But in Felipe Luis's mind, there's no doubt that Wesley Franca will become one of the best left backs in the world. And if Felipe Luis is saying this, who is a legend himself in the left back position, then I have no doubts that the Wesley Franca does have the potential that everybody seems to see in him. Now, another news is that it seems that Atletico Madrid are interested in signing Ferran Torres. Now, during the negotiations between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid for the transfer of Memphis Depay, where Barcelona were looking for a swap deal for Yannick Carrasco instead for Memphis Depay, it seems that the Madrid-based club informed Barcelona that they are interested in signing Ferran Torres in case Barcelona ever decides to sell him. Now, it's also reported that Atletico Madrid had approached Manchester City when Ferran Torres was still in the Premier League. So it seems that a Madrid-based club have a strong interest in Ferran Torres, and I have no doubt that he's going to be a name that's going to be coming up a lot this upcoming summer. Because after all, Barcelona paid a lot of money for Ferran Torres, around 55 million euros, which they agreed on a payment plan with Manchester City, so they're still paying for him. And he's a player that's been at the club for a year now, because he did arrive in the winter transfer market of last year, and yet he hasn't been able to adapt. He hasn't been able to reach his potential. And in fact, he's been getting worse and worse with every match that he plays. So he could be one of those players that leaves in the summer. And it's good to know that the Madrid-based club are interested in signing him, because that could be an option in case Barcelona do decide to offload Ferran Torres. Not only because he has failed to adapt, but also since Barcelona have confirmed that they will be signing Yannick Carrasco in the summer. Someone is going to have to go, because right now Barcelona have 6 attackers. With the arrival of Vitor Roque, with the arrival of Yannick Carrasco, we'll be talking about 8 attackers, and that will be too much. So some players will have to leave, and Ferran Torres could be one of those players since he hasn't adapted to the team, and since there is interest in him from Atletico de Madrid. Now, we will end today's video with the news that La Liga have rejected the registration of Gabi's new contract. Now, as I've told you before, Gabi renewed his contract with Barcelona, extending it until 2026 with a 1 billion euro release clause and with a salary, with a first-team salary. However, Barcelona weren't able to register this contract with La Liga. So Gavi is still earning like he is an under 19 youth team player. And with the departure of Gerard Piqué and with the departure of Memphis Depay, Barcelona thought that they had enough space on their wage bill clear to register Gavi's contract, and they petitioned La Liga to accept the registration of his contract on Wednesday. But it seems that La Liga have rejected this registration, and they're saying that Barcelona don't have enough space on their wage bill to register Gavi's contract. Now, Barcelona have consulted with economists, and all the economists that Barcelona have consulted, including their own, have all said that based on the departure of Piqué and Memphis Depay, that there's enough space on Barcelona's wage bill to register the contract of Gavi. But it seems that Javier Tebas and La Liga still want to put obstacles in the way of Barcelona, like they've had ever since Joan Laporta became a president. And this is becoming a very serious problem, because when Bartomeu was in and he was spending the club's money left and right, making absurd signings, spending crazy money on salaries, on bonuses, on variables, completely wasting the club's money and ruining the club financially. La Liga, Javier Tebas had no problem with that. But all of a sudden, we have Joan Laporta as a president, and he's being responsible with the money, responsible with the salaries and transfer fees that he's offering. And all of a sudden, Javier Tebas and La Liga are worried about Barcelona's financial status, and they're constantly putting an obstacle after obstacle in the way of Barcelona signing new players. Now, we're going to have to see what Barcelona will do in regards to the registration, because as I reported before, that has become the club's main priority, to register the contracts of Gavi, Ronald Araujo, and Alejandro Balde. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel to be staying up to date on all the latest news in regards to Barcelona, to all the Barca news. Now, I will be out of the country for a few more days, and during those days, I will be bringing you these live and edited videos. And once I get home, then I will be back. Then I'll have all my equipment, and I'll bring you your regular daily news videos. But hopefully this was a good enough video to keep you up to date about our beloved club. Thank you for watching again. Have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow. And as always, I can't cut the video without saying, Peace, Barca.